Morning cooking bloke. Cup of tea. Patsy Cline. Now, what I do is I cook with what I've got, and I'll look in the fridge and I'll go, what am I eating today? And as it happens, I took out a couple of quarter-pounder beef burgers out of the freezer last night and I put them in the fridge. So I've made up my mind that I'm going to have those as my meat protein. I'll have fish or beef or pork or lamb or chicken, prawns or mackerel and all that different sort of stuff with vegetables. And so what did I have? Well, in the fridge I had 3 tomatoes, 3 mushrooms, an onion of garlic, onion, bag of red hot chilies, and some of them are going over, but they're super hot, and so I'll use a few of those and save the rest. Then I thought, well, bolognese pasta sauce, gonna make a nice tomato dish. Then I've got this left over from what I ate yesterday in the omelette. I had the chickpeas and the coriander, so that's all going in the pot. And then I thought, well, I'll have red kidney beans, because red kidney beans always goes great with all this stuff. And so first off then, and I thought what I'll do this time is I'll go through the preparation with you, because some of you like that, don't you? It's kind of like therapeutic. Now you'll see some people and when they say, oh, we'll put some garlic in, they put 1 little clove in, or maybe 2 cloves. I always put the whole onion in. And how I'm going to be dealing with this now, for simplicity and efficiency, because it's very fiddly trying to get the flesh out, so I cut off top and tail. So I've cut off all the fiddly bits there. Then I'm going to drive the knife straight through the core of the onion. It's gone halfway through, you see, like that. So gonna cut the way, and it's difficult because you've got the core. So there's this bit of waste, but there's enough. And so I get rid of those tops and tails, and then with these here, I rub them like this to try to get rid of most of this chaff. And then, let's see. See, then, you've not got much work to do. Can you imagine all this garlic? How healthy is that? Patsy Cline, what a woman, what a tragic death. Died in a plane crash, in a light plane, small one. It's the crash scattered her body parts, and 2 other people who were with her in the plane, including the pilot, scattered their body parts so they were unrecognisable. And they found one of Patsy's feet trapped between a V like that, a branch in a tree, just a foot, and they knew it was her foot because it had red nail varnish on the foot, and she was the only female on the plane. Now there were times apparently when because she used to travel quite a deal with these small aircraft going from gig to gig. And there were times when people said, wow, the weather's bad today, I wouldn't go if I was you. And she would say, well, I've got to go. And so she was a very ballsy woman. And, look, to travel in these light aircraft, Even at the best of times, when you've got thermals and a bit of wind, they are horrific. And I've not got the stomach for it. I throw up, I do. I've been in lots of these small aircraft. I used to take flying lessons. When I was living and working in the gold mines in Australia, I used to take flying lessons. And you know, you go through the thermals and my stomach would just be heaving. And my head was gone. I wasn't up for it. And I also get seasick, so I couldn't be a pirate. I wanted to be a pirate so much. I literally wanted to go out on the ocean waves and just like rob people. Seriously, what I thought, because at one stage I was going to buy one of these Turkish gullets, because I took a qualification to skipper a 60-foot sailing boat or power boat, so I could do that inland and out on open water. So I was going to buy one of these big wooden type pirate ships that they have in Turkey for the tourists, you know, they're called a gullet, and a beautiful boat, a lot of deck space and everything like that. And so I was looking at spending about £60,000 on one of those and live on it, travel around the Mediterranean, this sort of thing. But I hired these boats with the crew and everything to go out and, you know, to see how they handled and this, that and the other. And out in the open water, invariably it's all up and down and my equilibrium goes. Lots of people do, and you know, with sailors, the first week they've got to settle down. But I thought, well, I can't wait a week every time I get in my boat and go out on the ocean. I can't wait a week before the queasiness goes, before I can eat something, before I stop fucking throwing up and my head's all dizzy and all that shit. It's just hell. And so when I was taking my certificate for my skipper's license, I went down to Turkey and went out on a regular sailing boat, you know, the white ones, and there was 4 of us and the skipper, and we was out going around the Turkish islands, stopping at one place, this and the other, sleeping on the boat, and we was doing all of our training during the daytime. And we all got violently sick, but we still had to keep rigging in all the sails and everything, and you know, doing whatever we was doing, and throwing up all over the deck, because otherwise we'd fail. Because if you can't fucking manage your boat when you got seasick, you're fucked. And so yeah, that was an incredible experience. So I did the practical in Turkey, and I did 1 week's theory down in Brixham in Britain. And then I travelled 6 times to Turkey. And I was travelling around the whole of the coast, going to all the boatyards, looking at how these Turkish gullies were built and out of what woods, because they're built out of different woods, mahogany, oak and all different sorts of stuff, and then the last longer or the more expensive, and so you got to know what you're buying, and oh goodness me, there's a lot to it. So I spent months travelling all around the coast of Turkey, hired a guide to take me to all the boatyards and interpret for me, and I watched them being built and I learnt all about it. But then in the end I decided to fucking get seasick. So I just really like my feet on the ground. And so that was my pirate era over. But what I thought I would do is, just for the crack, just because I wanted to be prosecuted as a pirate, because pirate means theft at sea. And so what I was going to do is, just messing around, when I came upon another vessel out on the ocean, I would, you know, wave them down and I would say, oh, having a bit of problem with the engine or something. And then, oh, by the way, the toilet's not working, can I use your toilet? I'd go onto the boat, use the toilet, and then I'd like steal a loaf of bread or something like that. I'd steal something small, and so they could see it, and I'd get back on my boat, and hopefully they'd report me. By the time I got back to port, then the port police were waiting for me, and then I'd get prosecuted as piracy. Am I insane? Just thoughts, people, just thoughts. And then what I was going to do with my Turkish gullet, I was going to dress up as a pirate, have all the gold earrings in and all that, and have a crew which did the same, dressed up as pirates, and then do boat trips. I was going to do boat trips around the Mediterranean. I had it all planned out. I thought it was going to be a wonderful life, but things happened, and I got pulled in different directions and things like that. And I ended up going doing, you know, equally as adventurous stuff in other countries. But that, yeah, that would have been fantastic. Life on the ocean waves. Every time you pull into port, you fly in the Jolly Roger. You know, look here, people. I've got the tattoos to. You see that? You see that bit? All right. There you go. Pirates of the Caribbean tattoo there. And I've got ships on here and a toucan on there and all that sort of stuff. Right, back to business. That's a little story. See, look, people. If they just see cooking boat, they just think, oh, it's boring cooking. But you never know what you're going to get with an Awake and Brave video. And that's why, you know, I bluster at you guys if any of you skip through looking for the answer to the universe in any of my videos. You fools. Because my videos are like a box of chocolates. You're never going to know what you're going to get. Look at all this garlic. Now, some of you can be thinking that is garlic overload. But it isn't, people. You know, none of my meals taste overly overpowered with garlic. When it's cooked, you know, at the end of the day, it's a freaking onion. And so, all that, look at that, that's fantastic. So, bang that in there. Then how many chilies am I going to have? I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going a bit fierce today. I'm going for that. Yeah, I'm going to go for that amount. This is going to be hot. But I like spicy food, and evidently I like garlic. So let's get that nicely cut down into small bits, because if you get one of these in your mouth, you are gonna know about it. So you just want little bits of it, because they are wicked, man. They're proper wicked. Right, so we've got that in the pot. So I think I can bin those. Then the onion. Now I'm going to have, you know, I'm not one really for mincing around and keeping a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I just think, well, fuck it. So we'll have a bit more onion in this time. You know. At the end of the day, all these foods are super, super good for you. Right, okay, bang them in the pot. Now already it's starting to look and smell delicious. Now what do we need? What do we need, people? We need olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and we bang a good load of that in there. Now, wooden spoon, bang that on the light, get that sizzling away. I'm gonna chop the tomatoes. Not sure whether I've rinsed those, so just gonna rinse them, get all the pesticides off. Nice firm tomatoes. So I think these days, because invariably I'm skipping breakfast, and so my mind and body is thinking and feeling food, and so it's kind of like I've got food on the brain, man, and so therefore I've got to start doing something with it. And the thing is, if you're going to be losing weight, you have to feel hungry most of the day, because it's when you're feeling hungry that the body is calling on your adipose, on the body's fat, and it's using it. So I go to the gym in the mornings these days, and I went today at 8 o'clock, and so I've had a strong workout. The body is crying out for food and energy, so now it's feeding on the adipose, and that's what we want. Because if you have breakfast, doesn't matter really how light it is, the body then takes the resources from that, and it doesn't take the resources from the fat. Now, what I'm going to do is over here, I've got a sup of the old char. I'm going to rinse the kidney beans. Very, very nutritious, high in protein, and lots of other vitamins that are very important to the body. And someone told me the other day actually that one of the things in kidney beans was really important for something, and I've forgotten what that was. Open the window. Now, in here are my potions. What's in here? Well, there is 30 milligrams of psilocybin magic mushrooms. There is 20 grams, no, not milligrams, 0.3 grams, yeah, so 0.3 grams of magic mushrooms, 20 grams of collagen for skin, hair and bone growth. There is a teaspoon of turmeric. There is a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. There is a heaped teaspoon, about 5 grams of creatine for muscle volumization, replenishing of the body and all that. And so I'm going to be drinking that. Then I'm going to be taking a few of these supplements. This is glucosamine sulfate for cartilage. Then you've got the omega-3 fatty acids, and we've got magnesium glycinate. We've got vitamin C and zinc and vitamin D. Okay, so basically we've got the ingredient going now. And what I always love is whenever I'm cooking and I'm looking at this golden colour, dripping with beautiful virgin olive oil. Everything in here is super healthy. So browning all that garlic and those onions off nicely, and then it's just a case of putting the sauce in with the vegetables. I'm telling you, I'm a strong bloke, right? Getting lids off jars sometimes is almost fucking impossible. Ooh, you fucker! How how do weaker people do it? How do women do it? How do old people do it? Well, of course, if you pierce the top and release the pressure, then that makes it a lot easier. But often I want to keep the jars, and so I don't want to do that because I use the jars for pickling. But I've got enough jars, so I just wanted to challenge myself. I just want to see if I'm man enough to open a jar of fucking bolognese at 61 years old. It's like, give me that fucking jar. I couldn't be defeated, could I? On camera, I couldn't be defeated, could I? Right. Oh! Frazzly! Frazzly! Frazzly on my tongue. Well, that's perfect. So let me put that over here. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Going to bang the... come here. There you go. Going to bang that sauce in. Come on. Right. Mushrooms, tomatoes, beautiful. Now, the coriander, I want to save that because I want it fresh. Because if you cook coriander, it loses its pungent, aromatic. It loses everything basically. It loses the taste. It loses the scent, so you've got to have it fresh. So take all that out there, because then I'll sprinkle that on the top. Put those chickpeas in there. Alright. And then we put the kidney beans in. And then, come a little bit closer. Look! Are you looking what's going on, people? We're talking healthy, right? We are talking super healthy. And that is what I'm going to be eating alongside my 2 quarter pounders. And I'll have the quarter pounders in 2 sittings because it'll be too much for 1 sitting. Because generally what I do is I split my main meal, if it's a big one, into 2 parts. I'll have it a couple of hours apart because I'm always going to be eating before I go to bed. Can't stop doing that. So 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I'm eating. But these days I'm cutting that down and I'm having kind of like 2 slices of bread, butter and Marmite. So we're looking at like 250 calories. Whereas before I used to have often 4 slices of bread, butter, thick cheese, maybe some dressing and stuff like that. So I'd be taking like 600 or 700 calories before bed. So I don't do that anymore. So let's just have a little bit of a stir of that. Oh wow! I tell you what, my stomach's ready for it now. But I've got to wait several hours. I mean, I think it's only about 10 or 11 o'clock maximum, so I've got to wait like 6 hours before I can get that down the neck. So I'm going to turn that down to 3. And then, so what I'm going to do is with this potion, I just pour some fruit juice in that. So get a bit of fruit juice in here. Not much, because I'm going to top the rest of the water. top that up with filtered water. That'll do. Now you're supposed to take your supplements with food, of course, but I am, because in here there's this 20 grams of collagen, which is protein, basically pure protein. So I've got that. Then of course with the fruit juice, that's food because it's sugar, and so I'm lining the stomach with some protein and some carbohydrate, and that's what I'm going to be eating until my evening meal. But then you see, about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'll start on the Guinness, and I have a couple of cans of Guinness, so I'm having the sugars from the Guinness. Now I'm going to take these and it's not the most palatable, people. Black pepper and turmeric, it's not the best, is it? Let me start it. Right. That's getting on beautifully. Now, in that potion, I used to put quite a lot of lemon juice. Pure lemon juice. I'd squeeze the whole lemon, so I'd have about this much in the bottom of pure lemon juice. Then I'd have a big chunk of ginger, so it was very, very spicy. And of course ginger and lemon, very, very good for you and everything. But what started to happen was that I'd realised when I was drinking that, after I drank it, my throat would feel hoarse. And then I'd be doing my singing, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, what's fucking going on? I started to research it, and then it says that, well, the acid in the citrus fruits are drying out your vocal cords. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop that. Then I thought, well, you're going to get the citrus fruit in ginger as well. There's a variety of fruit in the similar realm, and so I thought, well, I'm stopping doing that as well. And I started to take the collagen, because the collagen is said to make the vocal cords more supple, because it makes everything more supple generally, your skin and everything. It promotes growth for your hair. So I stopped the ginger. Well, I have lemon ginger in food. I'll still use it to cook, so I'm still having that, but I'm not taking it, neat. It's like, just too much. So yeah, the collagen is good for the suppleness, and also one of the things that what that ginger and lemon was doing, it was giving me diarrhea. It's fantastic for flushing the system, but within like 20 minutes of consuming that, I'd be going to the toilet, and then like 20 minutes later I'd be going again. And I was getting dehydrated, and I wasn't drinking enough water, because after I drank that, maybe I had a cup of tea, then I'll start my singing warm-ups and that, this and the other, and then I'd crack a beer, start enjoying myself while I was drinking the beer. The beer is a diuretic, and of course I was being dehydrated again. So, we all know that if you drink a pint of beer, it seems like you're pissing out 3. And I was always like, what the fuck's going on with that? But because it's a diuretic, what the diuretic does, it absorbs the water out of your body. It's actually like squeezing a fucking rag. And so you piss out much more than you are drinking. So you'll drink one right, can of Guinness, and you're going to be pissing 2 or 3, and you ask yourself, how does that work? But the diuretic in the alcohol is extracting the moisture from your body, so getting dehydrated from that. Getting dehydrated from the diarrhea. Getting a sore throat from the acid from the lemon. And so I'm thinking, wow, that's why my vocal cords were getting worse and worse and worse. And I was, you know, sometimes I was saying to you guys, I don't know what's going on. I've got no range these days. In actual fact, looking back several years ago, my voice has less range now when I'm doing all these vocal warm-up exercises and practicing every day almost. And it's getting worse. So something is going wrong, so I have to look into it. And now my range is slowly increasing.